Feng Shen Bang, or League of Gods, as it's known in the US, is a Chinese fantasy action adventure, which apparently was inspired by a 16th century novel, The Investiture of the Gods by Feng Shen Yanyi. In that story, a king is becomes a tyrant due to the influence of a vixen named Daji. Um, there are a lot of problems with this film. Outside of the blatantly obvious, often frequent, poorly rendered CGI effects and the gratuitous amount of green screen effects in this film, one would think that with all the money in China, that they could get like really good visual effects artists to make this film. And League of Gods is very much, I won't even see very much, blatantly borrows from the Lord of the Rings uh, franchise, and it is so steep in fantasy and realms and worlds that do not exist that it is incredibly dependent on visual effects, and oftentimes the visual effects are pretty shoddy, and ultimately take me out of the movie. Uh, like I said, there are a lot of problems with the film. We'll start with the story. I mean, the story, I as the movie progressed, I felt the sense that I was watching a sequel to another film. Because the way these characters come off, it felt as though I had to have seen a previous film to know who these people are and what they can do and how they ended up where they are and what their purpose is, what are their abilities. There really isn't that much of an attempt to establish some serious character development or backstory for each individual. It's like you're suddenly dropped in to this story and you're supposed to know who Jet Li's character is, who Bing Bing Fan's character is, who Zhang Wen's character is, or Tony Leung's character, uh, or yes, this is her name, Angelababy's character. It's like we're supposed to know who these people are, and we were supposed to be familiar with their abilities, and what little attempts there are of giving some backstory is just like goes by so fast that it's like it doesn't register. And because this borrows so much from other fantasy films like Lord of the Rings, um, it has an air of familiarity that and unoriginality that makes the film drag. It's an hour and 49-minute film, and it felt longer than that. And I watched this one at home, and I had to take a break after about 45 minutes. I was like thinking I was like ready to fall asleep. I'm like, okay, I went out to like did some errands, took a walk, came back and finished it. But I'm like, if it was in this theater and if I saw this in the theater, I probably would have dozed off, which is something I hate doing. But fortunately, since I watched this at home, I was able to take a break. Um, so the characters are apparently Jet Li plays a character named Zhang, who's a wizard. Bing Ban Fen plays Daji, who is the vixen who manipulates King Zhao, who is played by Tony Leung. Uh, Naza, who is overall an irritating character, played by Zhang Wen. And what it boils down to is his character. Um, there might be some minor spoilers here. His character begins as a baby, literally a CGI baby, a poorly rendered CGI baby that looked like it was lifted from a poorly done animated TV show. And a lot of the stuff that this baby does, is utterly childish to the point where I wonder who exactly is this movie made for? Is this for children? Is this meant for young adults? Is this meant for adults? Is this meant for all audiences? Because the level of lowbrow humor involved with this character is one, irritating, two, underwhelming, three, not funny. And there's another thing where they're literally one of the compatriots on this journey is a plant with one eye. Essentially, is a blade of grass that's anthropomorphic and has one eye. And again, I'm like thinking it's like League of Gods Jar Jar Binks, but and as these characters, these heroes, I don't even know why this movie's called League of Gods, because I don't think any of these people are gods anyway. They're just normal people who have mystical powers. And as each character comes together, I'm left to wonder why, what is their purpose? Why do they have these powers? Why do they need these people, these individuals to fight this tyrant? And this mystical woman who has like CGI tentacles and makes it look like she's a steroided Doc Ock, and there's only one tent that is interesting. Yeah, I didn't never got the sense of just who these people are, what their purpose is, and why do they really need them to fight this person. So, yeah, League of Gods. If you're into the Chinese fantasy films, and you can easily overlook the CGI element. I mean, I can totally overlook CGI if the story is really engaging. I really like the movie. I can forgive the bad visual effects, but this one is just like in your face, and there's no escaping it. So, League of Gods, I would probably have to give a rather low, yeah, I would say very low 2 stars, just barely avoiding a 1.5 stars. Um, the only things I got going is John Debney's score, which is entertaining at best, and the costume design is fantastic. But yeah, the poor CGI and the story and character arcs just really failed to grab you, and it was just not a very interesting movie. It was just a hodgepodge of other scenes from greater films done with 2/10 of the budget, and you can see the results in the film. So League of Gods is available on DVD, Blu-ray, and streaming on Amazon. Yeah, League of Gods, 2 stars. So if you like this Crossing Stream review, please hit that like button below. Have you heard of League of Gods? Have you seen League of Gods? Please share your opinions below. I'm curious to find out. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I update with new reviews, retro reviews, Crossing the Stream reviews, film reviews, and be sure to check out ErnieTrinidad.com for my new feature film reviews and theaters. And be sure to hit that bell button so you can be notified when I do so. So until next time, my friends, we'll see you at the movies.